Matt Moore, Mattmoore, and I'm the owner and operator of Real Property Management Blue Sky.
So you guys have known that this law change was coming down the pipeline. Tell me how you guys prepared. You put a lot of information online.
Yeah, we did. Our first awareness came through our lawyer, which sent out an awareness of the law change coming up. We had then alerted our owners that there was a change coming and we would have to take some action and update our records with the disclosure form so that we have it on hand when we need it.
What is required now for disclosures in terms of owners to renters?
Right, every owner has to have a specific form with specific language that's a flood disclosure that states whether or not the home has been flooded in the past, whether they've used FEMA, or whether they've had to use insurance. So there's 3 qualifications there. If the home had just a little bit of water in the garage or something, that's not a concern. But if there's been an actual flood from any sort of event, they need to disclose that. It has to be on a specific form signed by the landlord, the agent, and myself in this case, and the tenant have to sign it as well. One of the other important factors is the disclosure states and tells the tenants that floods are not normally covered by renter's insurance. So if they want coverage for that, they may need to get some additional coverage.
I imagine there are pros and cons for this law. First of all, looking at the pros, what are the benefits of this change?
Yeah, first, it brings awareness of a challenge. Renters don't want to unknowingly rent a home that has had recent floods or floods at any time. It's a real challenge for them if they get displaced, just like an owner would, but that's a big challenge. It also makes it a little bit harder to rent homes if they're aware that it was flooded in the past. We have seen more difficulty with homes that have been flooded. For example, obviously the West Coast, Pasco, and Pinellas County.
As you're working with landlords and trying to get them up to speed, have they been frustrated by the law or do they understand it?
We really have not received any feedback. We gave them the details about it up front multiple times and discussed it with them through our communications. So I think those that are not impacted by it, we have to do the disclosure for every single property, even if it had never been flooded. It's not a big impact to them. We just have to complete the form and put it on file and have it ready. For those that did flood, of course, they're a little concerned what this might mean for them in the future.
If someone fails to disclose, what are the penalties? As I understand it, it's not like you could sue.
Right, the penalties are there. In my personal opinion, they're not strong enough. I think that it should probably be a little bit stronger, but it does give some options for the tenant to get out of the lease if they had damage to their own property and a couple other circumstances. Of course, some of that will play out with time on how, when these things come up. It was just enacted today, so we don't have any case law or anything yet as far as implementation.
If someone is renting right now, obviously this law wasn't in effect. If they re-sign a lease, does that disclosure come into effect then?
Yes, it does. Anytime we sign a new lease, it comes into effect. We are going to be proactively telling all of our tenants once we get all the disclosures back from our owners, and we're in process on doing that now, then we're going to be proactive about it because they may find out too and wonder, was my property flooded? I think we owe it to them to let them know.
Is it unit specific?
It is unit specific, it'd be address specific, but one of the interesting things is if you have a unit on the 10th floor, we need the disclosure as well. So it's every single property in any scenario we have to have that disclosure.
So if I'm living in an apartment building and one apartment flooded, but the one I'm renting didn't, I wouldn't get the disclosure about that other one?
I don't believe so. The ownership there could be a little different if we're talking single owners versus like a condominium or something, or an apartment building. That might be a little bit different scenario, would be outside of my purview. But from a residential, it's by address.